Today I'm showing you 5 game-changing Kittl hacks that will make your workflow way faster and your designs look way more pro. We will go from choosing the right typefaces to use AI to clean up sketches, quick mockups for clients with Kittl Flows, visualizing your ideas with templates, and keeping everything on brand with brand kits. And the best part is that you can try all of this for free before you even get started. Let's get into it. Let's start with the thing that got me hooked on Kittl in the first place, and I'm sure I'm not alone. Typefaces and effects. Okay, let's go to kittl.com. And now here I'm logged into my profile, so I'm gonna go up here, back to dashboard. And now to show you the fonts, I'm gonna show you a project that I did a few months ago. Was it this one? Yeah. Own Your Weird. You're gonna see that all these fonts are created by professional designers, and there is a huge range of them. So if you go up here to the T, you're gonna see that you can start by adding a normal headline, you can add a paragraph, or you can select the styles that are already here on Kittl. So you could just tap on one and then modify it and make it your own. Now, if we go to add headline, headline is gonna be here. I'm gonna press escape. And with the key V, I'm just gonna select it here. I'm gonna close the text here. And now if we go to the right panel where we're gonna find everything, you're gonna see that you can align all your elements from here. You can transform it. You can just bring the layers opacity down, change the colors, and then we get here to the text style. You're gonna see that here there is a lot of ways that Kittl is classifying these letters. You can find from serif to sans serif to handmade, to script letters, which are my favorite probably, to some decorative ones. And let's say, like, look, there is so many of them that you can do really a lot of things with them. So let's go add a couple effects so you see how it works. I like this one. This looks quite weird, so let's see what happens. I'm gonna try to add some effect like what I did here. So you go down here, you can go to transformation, you can give it a distort. Let's just bring a lot of effects and see where we stand at after we finish. So we can add maybe a rise effect, or maybe like a flag, maybe too much. Let's do this rise effect. Now here you can even retouch the transformation of your letters. I've done this with a lot of Kittl tutorials already, so you can definitely go check them out. Now here, if we go to text shadow, you're gonna be able to add a shadow, and like for example in here I think I've added this simple one, well the third one, right? The block shadow. Then you've got the detail 3D. If you zoom in, you're gonna see that there is a lot of things happening here. So let's adjust this one right here. Now you can control the offset and the angle of it. So let's say we make it an offset of maybe like 15, and then the angle could be like -125. You can also change the outline of this, so you could even add an outline here. And then finally you can go to the text decoration, and then here you can add something inside the text. So for this example here, I've added this fourth one, and then I just made it. Let's see how I made it. Yeah, so this was this pink that I have here. You're gonna see that all the colors that I used in this file, they are all here. So I'm gonna change that, and then the text color, what was it? It was some kind of pastel pink. Oh yeah, this one right here. And then for the text shadow, I have a complete black color, I think. Yeah, so let's go select this color. Perfect. Now, if you wanted to add this extra orange that I have here, you could go ahead and just copy this by tapping on the Option key and just dragging it. Or you could also do the typical Control-C-V or Command-C-V for copy and paste. Now, this one is the one on top, so I'm gonna double tap here or right click. And now here you can lock the layer. And so just the one underneath is visible. And I'm gonna go here to text shadow. And now I'm gonna make this into orange. And this is how I made the effect that you have here. Now, if you wanted to do drop shadow coming from this, so imagine that the light comes from up here, you could again Command C and V. Now you can lock this layer. And now you have one that is underneath. Just make sure that it's the underneath one. So right click or double tap on your trackpad if you have a Mac. And I'm gonna put here backward. Perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and change the offset here. So I'm gonna change the angle towards that side. And then I'm gonna move this. Maybe you can make it so the offset is a little bit smaller. And now here you could change into some kind of a dark gray. And again, you can control the angle a little bit better. So let's see, maybe like this. Yeah, this will look cool. Now I just have to zoom in and make sure that this stays right there. And you would have this effect. Now you can go have a play with the different typographies that they have. Now you could also just change this directly. So if you go to text style here, so let's say that we want to change, I'm gonna now unlock everything. So I'm gonna go to the layers panel here on the left, and you're gonna see that now I have two headlines locked. So I'm just gonna unlock them. So once we unlock everything, you can select these three together. And now here you can go have a play and change the typographies and everything will be aligned. So let's say we select something like this, or you could even go to script and go have a play with a script font. So yeah, typefaces are a great start for your designs, but there is something that should come first, which is sketches. Let's talk about how this can be transformed easily in Kittl. This is where Kittl's AI comes in, and honestly, it's one of my favorite hacks. Okay, let's say that you have an idea for a t-shirt or a poster, but right now it's just a pencil sketch. You know that you can take a photo, drop it into Kittl, and then let the AI clean it up and visualize it for you. Okay, so for this example, I wanted to show you something that I've created a few months ago. So this is a lettering piece that I created from scratch. And I was thinking that I could recreate something like this, but using Kittl. Let's see what happened. So this is a frame that I found here in Kittl, and I thought that I could place the letters right inside. I'm gonna show you now the process, right? So you go here to the left panel, here on illustrations, and then you're gonna find some of the things there. So I got here, you see, by choosing different typographies. One of the key things that I have that when it comes to typography is that you should just use, for example, in this composition, I've used, I think, just 3 typography styles, so it doesn't look too messy. So that's a tip for what we talked about before, right? But now let's say that we wanted to change this frame. You could do 2 ways. Like, let's say that you wanna show this to a client, right? This looks like a final product, but imagine that you wanna show your ideas to the client and you just have the sketches of it. Imagine that you wanna draw something like this, but make it yourself. Now, you could have just a few sketches to show the client, which is something that I do. But as you know, not all the clients can read sketches, right? So this helps you show your idea in a clean, finished way. And if they like it, you can draw it yourself or just refine it digitally. So let me show you what I mean. For example, if we get here a paper, we could, let me grab a pencil. We could just get this sketch like this, and we could redraw just a bit of this frame. Right? And now I'm gonna sketch this and bring it to Kittl. Okay, here it is. To import files into Kittl, you could go here to uploads and just import it, or you can also just drag it inside and that's it. Now we have to put this sketch into an artboard. And now we're gonna talk about something that I'm actually gonna get more deep into after. But I'm gonna now erase this, put my sketch here, and then rotate it, make it bigger. And I'm gonna tap here on Smartboards, which is something that we're gonna touch on a little bit later. But now we're gonna get this Smartboard here. So here on the prompt, we're gonna say, make this sketch into a flat vector design. And then the leaves are with a soft orange, and the rest of colors are olive green. I don't know what's gonna happen. And light yellow. The background is transparent. Let's tap on generate. Here you can choose the model, but again, we're gonna talk about it later. And let's see what happens. So here we have it. Now here you could obviously say that there is no line work, that is just like everything is flat, whatever, but you see that it kind of kept some of my elements. Of course, some of them are just made up, but the idea might be there. Obviously, you can work harder on the prompt, and I would never use this as a final design. This is just for actually presenting some of the things to the client and being like, hey, so I have these 3 options, like which one do you think I would go for? And then obviously I'm an illustrator, so I would do this by hand. So now here you can, for example, convert that into an image. And once you have the image, you could remove the background. There you go. And now you can vectorize it. And now you can say how many colors do you want here. So I'm calculating that there is gonna be 4, I think, based on what I've seen here, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me put 5 just in case. Vectorize image. And a couple seconds later, you're gonna have a vector image. Obviously, it's not gonna be the best. And again, if you get to redraw this after, then you can go ahead with the pen tool. I have a masterclass talking about the pen tool, so you can check it out here. So now I could get this, go to my final design here. I could duplicate, which one is it? Well, this one, I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna select the background. So I'm gonna go to the artboard now here to the layers panel on the left, and I'm gonna unlock the background. And I'm gonna put the new one right here. And now I'm just gonna adapt it. I'm gonna remove the white. But you can see that now after maybe like I touch a bit of typography, or I'm actually bringing this to the background here on the layers panel, I would have something that I could deliver to the client again for the first step. Now, once you've got your artwork ready, how do you make it look real in a presentation? Kittl Flows is the tool that I use all the time when I'm preparing visuals for clients, especially at the beginning of it. One of the things that it allows you to do is to get your artwork or logo and place it in realistic mockups, like packaging, walls, signage, posters, all that good stuff. Here's how I used it for a burger restaurant project and also for a tea bubble branding. So this is a project that I did for Roka Burgers, which is a burger place here in Spain. I've designed the visual identity, but I thought I would show them a little bit my idea of what the place would look like and how the logo type would be adapted to it. Now, instead of spending hours in Photoshop or finding mockups for this first step, I can test different directions in minutes. And then once the client approves the direction and builds the business, I'm gonna hire a photographer that can follow the mood of these mockups. You see that here I worked on some prompts here of what I expect this burger place to look like, how the lights are gonna be like, how a neon would look like, because imagine that the client wants to actually create a neon like this. It's good for them to see how it's gonna look like before spending all the money on it, right? So what Kittl Flows allows you is to get this logo type and put it in different situations. It's gonna take the same logo type and just adapt it. So now for doing this, you can go here on the artboard, and then when you tap here, you can just tap on Smartboard, which is the thing that we did before. Now, once a smartboard opens, you can say, for example, in this one, this logo in white sprayed painted as bold graffiti on a brick dark gray wall surrounded by posters and grime, red orange light reflection cinematic realism. You can add here the photography vibe, and you can add the kind of light that you want and the mood. And the good thing about the Kittl Flows is that from here you can create another smartboard. Remember, go up here and smartboard again. And then you can say, I want the same, but this time the camera is positioned to the left side of the wall, showing a wider view of the street. And ta-da, this is what happens. So you can go and, you see, just do it more. Like if you want more zoom out, you can do it. If you want maybe some detail of the neon, you can also do it. And this is how it looks like when you continue doing it. Now, before we move on to the next step, I wanted to show you a project that contains everything that we've talked so far in the video. So for this Echo Bubble Tea store, I have experimented a little bit with different typefaces. Then here I brought a sketch and then I vectorized it, which is something that you can learn in the masterclass of this exact identity, that you can find it as well up here. I think I told you before. Here's a sketch that I also transformed using Kittl Flows. And then here's just different posters, and here the smartboards that I was telling you before. You can see that now here as well I did all the prompts and all that, and I got this identity. And this ties up perfectly with what I wanted to tell you next, which is templates. Alright, now let's move on to something that helps you plan your ideas before production. Templates are not just for beginners. I sometimes use them when I have creative block or to test my ideas before creating final products. If we go back to Kittl's homepage, you can see that we can find templates here on the left side, or you could even go here and try it. There are templates for pretty much everything: posters, packaging, t-shirts, stickers, enamel pins, patches, and they all look really realistic. So if you go here to Creative Flows, for example, you will see that there is already a lot of templates to maybe transform your letters into a style like this, or maybe create some stickers, which is something that we're gonna get to now, or just get some chrome effects and stuff. All these templates use AI as well to help you out. The prompts are already there and everything becomes really easy. So before getting into this though, I wanted to show you something that relates to the project that I was telling you before. So if you go here to branding, there's a little trick here that I always use, is that you can always go here and heart the projects that you like best. So for example, let's heart that one right there, and then we can go down and see what else is here. Let me see, something that could work good for the branding that I've created. Let's say this one right here, right? So if you heart them, now if we go back to the branding that I was showing you before, we can go here on the left panel, go to likes, and then here you can tap on one of these templates and it's gonna be added automatically in your project. Now let's bring it here. Let's bring the template here. And you see that now here you could change, for example, this color and put it, I don't know, let's say in pink, and then you could put this logo here, blah, 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 and change everything. Pretty much the same that I did here. This is also a template, and you can also find how I do this in the masterclass. And now, before moving on to the last chapter, I wanted to show you some of the templates that I love the most to create mockups. So we've got the enamel pin maker, so I'm gonna here open them. Then we have the funky patch maker, and we've got, which one was it? We have here one for stickers as well, so you could open this up. Now, remember that to find these ones, you can just go to here to templates, and then here you can search for a pin, for example. You can go to Creative Flows, you can put here enamel pin, and you will find them here. You can put sticker, and you will find them here as well, or the patch maker. So let me show you now the patch maker. You see, you can just put your photo here. So let's say we get this design, right? We erase what they have here, we place it, we bring it right here, and you see here, that already the prompt is already written. So you can go to this smartboard. It's already written. You can choose the model. I'm gonna choose Nano Banana, and I'm gonna generate again. And now here, I'll do the same. I'll choose Nano Banana and generate again. Now you can even see how it looks on a cap. Again, Nano Banana and generate again. So you see that now we get the realistic patch, and now we see how it would look like in real life. Look. And after seeing this, I think I'm gonna make my own collection of patches. Now when we go to the pins, for example, the enamel pins, I did this design a long time ago, so I simplified it. And here I created some of the mockups here, as well using the prompts that already were given by the template. So now I use different AI models. For this one, I chose the ChatGPT. For this one, the SeedDream, and for this one, the Nano Banana. I'm actually producing these pins at the moment because I really loved what I saw, and I'm gonna have 100 of them arriving next month. And now for the last one, the one that keeps your whole visual identity consistent. Okay, this one is a little bit more advanced, but still super simple once you get the hang of it. So brand kits is something that I started using recently in Kittl, and it's very cool. For example, if you have a brand and you want to create different projects for different things of the brand, let's say that you had, right, I don't know, like the burger place from before. So one project could be for the menus, the other project could be for Instagram, the other project would be for the identity, whatever it is, right? So you could save your brand assets so you can access them from every project that you are in. So for example, in here, we could create a brand kit for the bubble tea place. So for example, we could get this header, right? And then here, when we go to the right panel, here to textile, and then these 4 dots that says styles here, we just tap here. And then we tap on the plus sign, and then here you could put headers, sorry. And now here you could create a new brand kit. Let's call it BamBubble. And we add the style here. Perfect. Now, for example, we could create something for subheaders. So we're gonna use the same type, and maybe the color could be a pink color. And I'm gonna write here, this is subheader, for example. Now here, go to textile again, tap on plus, into the BamBubble brand kit, and here you could put subheader, for example. Add style, perfect. And now finally we can get this one, which is for, let's say, for other stuff, for like smaller text, right? So we could go here as well and tap here, other text, let's say, other text, BamBubble, add style, perfect. Now we could go to project colors as well. You could go here, when nothing is selected, you're gonna see the project colors, so you can go here on the right as well, see all 15 colors, and then you can start adding your colors to your brand kit. So BamBubble, here, then we can add this one right there, maybe the black, etc. right? This is just for an example. So now we've got this added to our brand kit for the BamBubble brand. So if we go here to home and we go to create a new project, let's say a standard is fine. Okay, so now that we are in the new document, we can check here our brand kit that is created. And for example, here I created a shadow style, but you could also add a new shadow style, for example, give it an offset. You can see the preview here. You can add it to your brand kit from whatever project that you're in. Now here you could add even photo filter styles, which is something that we're not gonna see today. But let's say now that you create some text here, you select random typography and you put here header or whatever, and then you get a color, let's say a random color, and then here you get another color, and then you put sub header altogether. Now, if we select both, we can go here to browse color palettes, and then here you're gonna find the BamBubble color palette. Now, I'm gonna toggle off this auto adjust, and here, just like that, we've added the 2 colors from the brand. Now here we can go to textile, tap here, and make the header. And here we could add, again in the text style, we could add the subheader just like this. And now finally, if we wanted some smaller text, we could go here, select a black color, go to the style here, and put other text. And just like this, we would have our brand from the BamBubble in another document. And that's all 5. Let's wrap it up. You've just seen my 5 favorite Kittl hacks, from fonts and effects to AI sketches, templates, and brand kits. Remember that all these features can totally level up your creative workflow. Now you can try Kittl for free, and if you want to go premium, use the code JIMBOYT to get 25% off all monthly and yearly plans. You will find the link in the description below. See you next time. Bye.